Hey guys, welcome back to another video in the series of Python for beginners. And as you can see on my screen, today's topic is dictionaries. And let's talk about today's agenda. So what we are going to discuss today is what exactly is a dictionary? How do we create them? How do we add or remove items from the dictionary? How do we access the items? There are two types, nested and non-nested. We're going to discuss what is nesting, how do we create a dictionary within a dictionary, and then we'll talk about the looping part. So these 6 topics we're going to talk about in this video. Now, I have divided this video into two parts. So the first part I'll be discussing about the first few things, and in the second part I'll be discussing about the looping and the questions that are related to that. So before moving forward in this video, I would like to request that if you are new here and have not subscribed my channel, kindly do so. So without further ado, let's dive right into the video. Okay, so dictionaries is something that stores data values in a form of key and a value. They are also known as items. If you store using a key that is already in use, the old value associated with that key is forgotten. What does that mean? It means that if you have associated one value with a key, now if you are giving different value somewhere in the program, later in the program, the previous value will be forgotten and the new value will be assigned. Next point is they are unordered in nature, so we can call them unordered collection of data values. So values in dictionary can be of any data type. So you can use any data type when you are declaring the items, when you are putting the items, inserting the item, accessing the item. They can be of any data type and can be duplicated. But the keys can't be repeated and they must be immutable. So what happens is when you try to repeat it, it won't work, or it will throw an error, or it just won't show anything. We'll take that by an example. They're indexed by the keys basically. It does not allow duplicates, that's what I said. So what we'll do is we'll take an example in which we will give duplicate values and we'll see that it's not working properly. Let's move forward to the nested dictionaries part. So what exactly is a nested dictionary? We'll understand through a diagram, but let me talk about the definition first. Very simple definition: a dictionary within a dictionary. So let's try to understand this. So consider this complete dictionary as a whole in this diagram. Now it has keys and values. Now one is key, so basically it has 3 keys and it has 3 values over here. But here you can see this is as a whole one dictionary, but inside it is having one dictionary more. So you can give nested, they are in a nested form. You can give a dictionary inside a dictionary. So this key is pointing out to logic, which is the first value in the value set. Second means 2 is pointing to ops lab, and third is pointing to another dictionary. And this dictionary has 3 keys with 3 values over there. So this is a form of nested dictionary. We'll take an example of that to understand it better. Now, if we can access and add the items in the dictionary, we can also remove them. So there are several ways to do that. So the first would be del keyword. Using this keyword, we can delete specific values from a dictionary. We'll take an example for that. Second is your pop method. So it deletes the value of the specified key and returns the value. You can manipulate that value by taking it to some sort of variable. Pop item. The pop item, it's a function again, or you can say a method. It returns and removes an arbitrary element, key value pair from the dictionary. We'll take an example for that. And last is clear. Clear is very simple. It removes or deletes all the items from a dictionary at once, and you can use this and clear everything. So it does not matter what your dictionary contains, how many elements it contains. If you will use clear, it will make it empty, and you can even check it by printing it up. So I hope you guys have understood this part. So let's move on to that demo part. So I have already created a folder over here which is known as dictionary. Now in this folder I have created a few files. Let us talk about the first file, which is the creation, and let's see how it is created. So there are several ways to do it. Let us understand one by one. Before moving forward, I'll just like to check whether we are fine over here. Okay, perfect. We are in the perfect location. You can type dir over here and you can see, yes, we are over here. So let me just clean this and let's run this. So the first thing is you can give any name. I have given my dictionary 01 and I have started with curly braces. So this is the syntax. So basically whenever you have to start any kind of dictionary, you have to start with curly braces and end with curly braces. In that you have to give a key like this, 1, 2 and 3, and then you can give a value. Now this value is separated by this colon. So this is one entity key value, this is second entity key value, this is third entity, and together you can call them as items or elements. So what I'll do, I have just taken integer as keys. You can give anything. I'll be just printing the basic thing, which I'm going to do it over here. Now here, this is an example of mixed keys. Mixed keys means channel name is my key over here and logic ops lab is my value over here. So, and this one is my key over here, and this whole entity, which I'm going to explain later, is my value over here. So basically key, value, key and value. That's how you are doing it. Now there is one another way of doing it. You can do it through a dict function, which is called a dict function as well. So I've taken one my dictionary 03 as a variable over here, and I'm giving dict. In that, I'm starting with brackets, and then inside that curly braces, you have to give the key and the value, which is something like this. Okay, this is another way of doing it. Now you're printing that dictionary. You're just printing dictionary using dict function, and then my dictionary this. So this is how you can do it. But as I was talking, that the exactly same keys are not allowed. But right now this is year and this is years. Okay, so let me run it and let's see how this works. So this is program number 1. So 01, hit tab and hit enter, and you can see the first is very basic, which is printed. This is next one, which is printed, and in the third one everything is printed fine. But let me do this. Let me remove this, save the file. Now two keys are the same. Will it run? Let me just clean it, run it again, and you can see that it is running fine. But did you notice anything peculiar about this? You can see the brand is Ford, which is this, perfectly fine. You can see model is Mustang, which is this, but you can see here the value comes out to be 2020, 2020. But where is this value? So as I said, that you can see that the value has been reassigned because we have used it later. Now what we'll do is we'll do errors over here, save this file, and then run it again, and you can see that years 2020 is there and year 1964 is there. That means you cannot use the same keys over here. Values can be same. So if I turn it to 1964, then I think it would run the same way. So let's just test it. Let me run it again, and you can see the values can be the same, but the keys cannot be the same. So that's one constraint with this. So let me just go back and save this file. Perfect. So I hope you have understood how do we create them. Let's do the nested one. Let me clean this so that you guys can understand it better. Okay, perfect. Let me drag this. Now this is a nested dictionary. So nested dictionary, we have given a name my dictionary. You can give any name. One key, one value, one key, one value, one key, but this key has a value of dictionary in itself, in which we showed you the diagram. If you remember, you can just go back in the video and you can take a look at that picture, in which A was pointing out to logic, B was pointing out to ops, and C is pointing out to lab. But 3, which is the key, is pointing out to a separate dictionary itself. And that's how you introduce a nested dictionary. Let me run this to show you better. And you can see that it has given the value. And that's how you do it, guys. Let me close creation and nested. Let me add adding. So what we'll do is we'll add the values. Do not get confused by this. This is just manage new code update available. You can just click over it and you can just restart to update. This will work fine. Do not get worried by this. Okay, let's go back. So we'll create an empty dictionary first. So my empty dictionary has nothing. Okay, and we'll give a 0 key. Second, and sorry, these are the position, and then we are going to give the values. And let's just run it. So 03, hit tab, and you can see in the first it has printed an empty dictionary. So this is the empty dictionary, but does not have any kind of key value over there. Now here my dictionary 0, my dictionary 2, my dictionary 3 has logic, ops, and 10, and you can see the keys 0, 2, and 3. So these are the keys that you are passing in the bar, what do you call it, bar bracket. Yeah, bar bracket. And then you have the value over here, logic, ops, and lab, and that's how it's printed, guys, in the dictionary. Okay, so this is saying dictionary after adding 3 elements. So after adding 3 elements, you can see this. Now if we want to update the value, you can just give the dictionary give the key and change the value. So we have given 2 over here. So ops was there, now it will be welcome over here, and you can see the value has been printed welcome. That's how easy it is to update the value, and this is how you can add, this is how you can update. Now if you want to add it in a nested key, this is fun guys. Let me drag it over here and let's see how it works. Now 5 is my key, okay, and then I have to add this value. So what happens over here is, let me just clean this so that you guys can see it properly. Okay, now it's cleansed. This is program number 3. Okay, fine, perfect. Okay, I think this casing is done like this. Okay, now we are adding a nested key. So 0 with logic, which was already existing, 2 and welcome is already existing, 3 and 10 is already existing, but now a new value has been added with a key at the end of the dictionary with key 5 and the whole new nested. Okay, this is a nested dictionary. Now this value has been added, so you can see the key over here 5 and this is the whole. So this is how you added a nested key value. So I hope you guys have understood it. Now let's go to the accessing part, which is again fun. So what we'll do is we'll just clean this and go through this. So I have a dictionary which I call DI, and in has we have 3 values over here and 3 keys. You can see it's mixed because this you can see a number and this you can see a string over here. What I'll do is I'll access by using a key. So this is a key and the value associated is ops. So if I print this, ops would be printed. We'll see it in a while. So now we are accessing using key. So this is 1, it will print logic. So ops and then logic. Let me run it so you can see it side by side. This is my program number 04. Hit tab, hit enter, and you can see when I was accessing using that key, it was ops, then again it's logic. Now let's go to the third part. You can see 3 and you can say it will go to the lab, and it has printed lab over here. Now this is an example of nested. Now dit is we have given any dictionary. You can give any name. di1, this is key and this is a nested one. This is di2, this is again a key and this is again a you can call it a dictionary. And then when you have to access, how you do it. So the root name will come always in the first, and then di1. So di1, this is my key. So the value associated is this one, and this will print this over here. Now for the second one, the root one, then di1, which is this, and then 1 is the key. So this is the key, and then you'll print the logic over here, which is this. Again the same thing, dit is the root one, which is this, dit2, this one, this is the key, and key inside a key. This is channel is my key, so it will print ops labs. And you can see how we can use in nested or in a normal one to print values using a key. Now after accessing, let's dive right into the remove part. So what we'll do is we'll remove from here. Okay, so here is my dictionary. You can say it's an initial dictionary, and then we have a dictionary within dictionary, which is the nested dictionary. So initial dictionary, it will just print it. Let me just print it in front of you. So 05, hit tab, enter, and you can see it has printed. Now let's see what happens over here. So dict 5, so we have to delete with a specific key. So 5 value, it will match the 5 value where it is. This is the 5 value, so it will delete welcome. So there would be no welcome in the 10th line. So you can see deleting with a specific, there is no 5, and the value associated with is also been deleted. But in case you want to delete a key from a nested dictionary, what you can do is you can give the root name, then first key, and then the second key. So the root name is dict, which is perfect. The first key is app, which is this, and the second key is 3, which is this. So this will be deleted and it will print only till ops, and you can see that it has deleted over it. So I hope you guys have understood it. This can be quite intimidating right now. You can just copy my code or you can just write your own code, which is highly recommended. And then let's go to the removing part and the pop method. So let me create a dictionary, which is this, very simple, and then I'll just print that dictionary and delete using a pop method. And as I told you that when you delete and give the key, which is 1, it will get the value logic, put it inside pop returns, and when you try to print it, it will print that. But there is another way to print it in a str dict, which is this. You can print it this way, you can print it this way. There are two separate ways to do this. So let me just run it again and let me show you 06, and you can see what it has printed. So what we did is pop returns one logic, and then it has returned the value logic, which is this. So you can say returned popped key is logic, and it has been deleted from here. Before deletion it was like this, after deletion it's like this, and the returned popped key is like this. So I hope you guys have understood. If you have not understood it, just take a pause over here, try to understand the program, and then you will be able to understand it. Okay, so let's move to the pop item and let us understand how it works. Okay, so what we have done is we have created a dictionary over here. You can see 3 values and 3 keys over here. We are going to delete using a pop item method. So it's arbitrary, so you don't have to give a value over here. I'll just save it like this. So it will just randomly delete a value, and then we can catch it over here, and then we'll print over here. This is one other way to write it. So let's try working on this. So 07, hit tab, enter, and you can see dictionary after deletion is 1 logic name and ops, and it was 1 logic name ops and 3 labs. So it has just arbitrarily done it. So you can see the value associated to the popped key is, this spelling is wrong, you can fix it like this. We save this and run it again, and you can see it has popped it from the end. So that's how it works, guys. Now we'll talk about the remove, which is the very easy, or you can say the easiest one. We have a very long delete dictionary over here, which we are going to delete. So del dict dot clear will delete the dictionary, and let's see how it works. So 08, hit tab, enter, and you can see the complete dictionary has been deleted, which we declared over here. So I hope you guys have understood it. So guys, if there is any issue, feel free to comment below. This can come as a bit intimidating at the start, but what happens is when you practice it, you will get to know all the entry cases in this programming. So if there is any issue, feel free to comment below and we will address that. So thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next video.